Hello and good morning. Welcome to Gaming Insight Daily for Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. I'm Steve Saylor. This is your sometimes daily show of gaming news, accessibility news, or updates about my life. I have Tim Hortons iced coffee today because once again I forgot to get groceries. A little bit of housekeeping before I get into today's news. If you are watching this video as of today, on July 23rd, I, at 1 p.m., have a very special stream that's happening. It's not a sponsor stream, but it is a very special preview stream. I gotta adjust my camera. I get to play the brand new Magic the Gathering Edge of Eternities set on Magic the Gathering Arena. It'll be a special 24-hour streaming event that Magic is putting on, and I have been I've been blessed to be invited to take part in it, so I'll be streaming for a little bit for that today. We're gonna be, apparently I guess there's a draft. I've not done any of these events before, so I don't know what's going on. All I know is I have an event token that's in my Magic the Gathering account, and we're gonna play it, and we're gonna try to draft a deck, I guess, and also try to be able to play some of the new Edge of Eternities cards. So if you want to be able to tune in, you can be able to tune in, twitch.tv/Steve Saylor. I'll be playing actually with some of my friends, not playing against, well, maybe we may try, but we'll be playing with basically, like, I think T will be in there, President Noir will be in there, Mike the Quad at some point. We're all playing at different times, but we'll all be kind of like joining in and just kind of enjoying each other's company. So there is that. Again, twitch.tv/Steve Saylor, 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be playing for a couple hours at least, or at least I'm going to try to anyway. That's the housekeeping. All right, let us jump into today's news, because this first story, we got a couple stories we're going to talk about. This first story is literally the definition. I don't want to say literally, but it could be cause for interpretation. But it is the definition of fuck around and find out. Because this has a lot of stuff to it. This is coming from Jordan Miller over at VGC. Splitgate 2 is unlaunching as developer 1047 Games cuts staff. The shooter, which was released in June, has faced lower player numbers during its opening weeks and mixed fan feedback from players. Now, developers 247 Games has said it's taken the game off sale in order to work on it further, listen to fan complaints, and attempt to move forward. We believe in Splitgate 2, opens a message from 1047 Games founder Ian Prue and Nicholas Bagamain. We launched too early. We had ambitious goals with Splitgate 2, and in our excitement to share it with you, we bit off more than we could chew. We rushed certain features and made some boneheaded mistakes, and most importantly, we didn't give you the polished portal-filled mayhem you fell in love with. The game is going back into beta, and the team is going heads down until 2026, they said. It's claimed that major parts of the game will be rebuilt, and fan-requested features such as a less complex monetization model and a refocus on classic game modes. The statement that addressed the job losses that the studio will face as a result of the change. Rebuilding the core experience isn't a quick fix. It's a long-term commitment. To give ourselves the time to build the Splitgate you deserve, we've made the incredibly difficult decision to reduce certain roles and shift our resources to focus on this rework. This is heartbreaking. These are our teammates and our friends, and they helped build what we have today. They're receiving severance and job placement support, and we've committed to doing everything we can to help them through this transition. We hope to bring them back when we can. Lastly, the founders announced that the studio will take the original Splitgate servers offline next month due to them costing the studio, quote, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this whole thing kind of seems shady, because if you read this sentence, we rushed certain features, made some boneheaded mistakes, and because of that, we've made the incredibly difficult decision to reduce certain roles and shift our resources to focus on this rework. Sorry, hey, we made we made a mistake. We're taking that on. We made the mistake. We're accepting, responsibility of that. And because of that mistakes, we're laying off people's jobs or letting people go at no fault of their own. It's not their fault. It's totally our fault. But you know, they're the ones who, you know, unfortunately we have to let go. But we're fine. We're totally fine. You know, as CEOs and founders, we're totally fine. We're not, you know, we're gonna fix this. We are going to fix this. But you know, we have to, like, in order to be able to fix this, we have to let go of the people who could fix it. But you know, we have to, you know, save money because of our boneheaded mistakes. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And the reason why I said at the beginning this is sort of a fuck around and find out is literally because, if you don't remember, even just about last month at Summer Game Fest, I can't remember which one it was, but I guess the CEO of Splitgate, or 1047, went up on the Summer Game Fest live stage wearing a Make FPS Great Again hat, which was so funny, and then basically lambasted the entire industry by saying, you know, Call of Duty sucks, we miss the old Halo, blah, 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 so we're bringing all that back. And mysteriously holding a bat on stage for no apparent reason. Yeah, that did not go over well, as you can imagine. And they screwed up, and now, and of course, as it happens in the rest of the video game industry, the only people that suffer are the people who are hired to basically to try to fix it. It's never the people responsible. Never the people responsible are the ones that are let go or even take a pay cut. No, never them. The people who, and it's, here's the thing, and you may say to yourself, or you may be asking me, why do you keep talking about these layoffs, and why is it sort of like, is it a constant thing we like isn't it sort of just to keep talking about the depressing part of the industry? And yes, like it is, but we also have to keep talking about it because we have to try to be able to speak truth to power in this sense, because the people who are left behind are at the whims of the people who made the mistakes in the first place. The people who made the mistakes in the first place are still running the studios, are still making the same boneheaded decisions and not learning from their mistakes, because what they had to do in order to be able to fix those mistakes is they had to let people go. You know, in other parts of the world, you would step down if you made a boneheaded mistake. But no, not in this sense, not in the, like, you know, corporation sort of sense. No, sorry. It's not our fault. It's everything else. Like, it's, well, you know, we'll take responsibility, but we're not actually, you know, taking responsibility. We don't acknowledge it. So basically, you're sorry you got caught is essentially what you're saying. So because you gotta remember, it's like, yeah, it sucks for the people that are left behind that have to be able to fix all this, but still the people who are also left behind are the same people who made the same boneheaded mistakes and have not learned from that lesson and will still keep making those boneheaded mistakes, and still, and the first thing that they'll do, because it worked before, quote unquote, is to lay off a bunch of people. It's basically what's been happening over the past several years. The same boneheaded mistakes that happened during COVID, overhiring, taking on too many projects, rushing through different projects as well. Like, basically trying to be able to make games a service because everybody was at home and playing video games now, but they didn't even bother to sort of think about past the short term and think about what was going to be like for the next couple of years once the pandemic was going to be eventually over. Still kind of technically is still around, but essentially it's still like it's at a relative. We're not home anymore. We're not forced to stay home anymore. So those same people are still in power. They're still the ones making the decisions. Yes, it absolutely sucks for those who have been let go, who are trying to find jobs, and also for those who are left behind, having to be able to pick up the slack from basically taking one of their jobs, basically their job, and now adding 5 more on top of it because the studio won't backfill any of the previous positions that were let go. Like, like, we gotta speak truth to power, because that's why I keep talking about this, because if the people that are making the decisions aren't the ones that are taking responsibility, this is going to be just a continuous cycle forever. And not to say that, you know, every person who made a mistake should step down, but it should get to, like, we should live in a world where laying off people is the ultimate last resort. After cutting bonuses or cutting people's, like, a CEO's salaries. I get it. Hey, you want to be able to be rich? You want to get rich? You want to be able to, like, make money? I get it. It's the same for everybody. Everyone will be able to make some money, and it sucks if you have to take a pay cut. I understand that. It's not an easy decision to do. However, you can live off of a certain amount of money. Other people can only live off the certain amount of money you would cut. And that's all they have. So save a couple of jobs by reducing your salary or just reducing your bonuses. You don't deserve bonuses if you make boneheaded mistakes. I think that every studio or every company that has to do layoffs because of financial decisions should not qualify to receive bonuses by the end of the year. And it sucks, but that's never the case because, you know, shareholders say, oh, well, you made the tough financial decision and you just, because of that tough financial decision, you could be able to keep the money that basically was let go, that finally got added back onto your books by letting people go, that you should use for technically, you know, fixing up the studio and fixing up the things that you said you were going to fix. But no, you can add that as an extra to your bonus. Bonuses are supposed to be, you do a good job, you do above and beyond the Call of Duty, as it were, pun intended, and you basically, oh, you know what, hey, as a significant, as a gift for doing an amazing job, here's a little bit of an extra bonus. It shouldn't be something that's just like that you expect to receive because you did your job. And unfortunately, the way that capitalism works is that some people have to rely on those bonuses every single year for just to be able to survive, whereas like CEOs, they get them like, and it's like, you know, getting candy. Oh goody, more candy. Does nothing to be able to help, you know, sustain them. Like, it's just, oh goody, more sugar. I don't know if that analogy works, but I think you understand what I'm talking about. And it pisses me off that basically that the people who absolutely deserve to be able to be punished or at least take responsibility are the ones who are not. And that's in the case of Splitgate too. Because those same people are there. Those idiots are still there. But everyone else that probably helped make the game better is now gone. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let's move on to our next story. EA confirms it will reveal Battlefield 6 this week. The publisher has taken to social media to announce that a reveal trailer for the game, which is officially called Battlefield 6, is coming on July 24th, which is tomorrow. The brief teaser appears to end with the game's key art. Battlefield 6, July 2024 reveal trailer. And that's literally it. Reveal trailer, July 2024. Over the weekend, an influencer care package featuring the game's logo was posted online. The creator who was sent the package quickly deleted the post. However, it was widely shared online. According to Battlefield influencer Rival X Factor, a larger reveal event for the game is planned for later this month. Electronic Arts previously confirmed it will release the next Battlefield game by March 2026, with a full public reveal due to take place this summer. Next Battlefield game has been in closed beta closed testing since March, and despite users being sworn to secrecy, a significant amount of game footage inevitably made its way online. EA is taking a more transparent approach to the development of the next Battlefield, following significant community disappointment around the last installment, 2042. 4 internal EA studios, collectively referred to as Battlefield Studios by the publisher, are building a connected universe set in the modern day. Here's the thing. I am curious to see what EA is going to reveal with Battlefield 6. Hopefully it has actually some pretty decent accessibility. I'll take a look at it. However, the thing that's going to interest me the most when it comes to Battlefield is how different are they going to try to be than Call of Duty, than Fortnite, than Apex? Because right now, if they're going with the same old as Battlefields before, there is nothing that's going to make me want to be able to play it. because it's the same old, and going back to the story of the CFO of EA saying that they want to have 100 million players on Battlefield by 2030. Good luck with that. Good luck with that if you decide to not change things up for Battlefield. Battlefield has had pretty much the same gameplay style, and I get it. You know what? You want to have a thing of a sense of familiarity, so that people, previous players can be able to enjoy it. But it needs a reboot. There is not it is being eaten or is being taken to lunch by Call of Duty, by Apex, by Fortnite. Games that have basically done so much better in the space. Battlefield has a lot to be able to make up for. And yes, granted, it's great that they're transparent with the development. They're opening up the development process to more people to basically understand what's going on. They're allowing more players to be able to jump in and learn how to and give feedback on how the game is progressing. But for someone who barely plays Battlefield, it's going to need something to be able to bring me back in. Otherwise, it's going to be the same. You drop into a map, you kill some people, you get maybe a little bit of you get some bonus, and you can be like, oh, you can use this jet now. Oh boy. And I get it. Hey, it's if it's fun for Battlefield fans, great, awesome. But as a casual fan, it's just the same old to me, and that's how it feels every time I jump in. I would even think about even jumping into it. I didn't even touch 2042 because it looked exactly like the previous game before it. Battlefield 1 was the only one that actually had of interest to me because it was set in a historical World War I, which actually was pretty fun. That opening sequence in Battlefield 1 was really cool. I like that story element where you're literally in a battlefield, and if you die, you basically you jump into another person who was in the battlefield, and then because you see their epitaph, you see their essentially the name of the person who died and how old they were, and you get to, it really shows the impact of what World War I was like in the trenches for people. And I thought that was a cool idea. I would love to be able to see more of that, but Battlefield 2042 basically was just a multiplayer thing, and it was just that's I don't know. I mean, I know people love multiplayer games, and I understand that. I'm not a multiplayer game kind of guy. I sometimes play it, but I prefer my single player games. And it's not to say that I needed a single player campaign from Battlefield 6, but I need something new. I need something to basically be like, oh, okay, this is why I should play Battlefield 6 in comparison to the other Battlefield games before. So I'm excited. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't think, is there, let me see, is there a countdown timer for it? Oh, so just a trailer. It does not say when. It just says tomorrow. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll come out by the time I'm ready to do this show. We'll see. All right, next story. Waiting for, yeah, here we go, IGN to load. Assassin's Creed Shadows might be coming to Nintendo Switch 2. This is by Rebecca Valentine over at IGN. Assassin's Creed Shadows might be coming to Nintendo Switch 2, and the Ubisoft executives might have just confirmed it. During today's quarterly earnings call, CEO Yves Guillemot and CFO Frederic Duguet? I don't know. I know I'm mispronouncing it. Combine their powers to provide a number of subtle and not so subtle hints and statements about Assassin's Creed Shadows that, when combined, are hard to read any other way than confirmation we're getting a Switch 2 release of the game at some point this fiscal year. First, Duguet mentioned that Ubisoft's lineup for the current fiscal year, ending at the end of March 2026, includes, among other things, a couple of other titles that will be announced at a later stage. Later in the same call, in response to an investor question, he also said, and we also have a game that will be launched on the Switch 2. While we already know that Star Wars Outlaws is coming to Switch 2, that actually I'm really looking forward to playing. Duguet was talking about games beyond the announced releases, so it's clear there's at least one other. Later in the call, Guillemot added another piece of the puzzle. In a conversation with another investor, specifically regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows, he said, and we have also some new versions that will come on other machines. Currently, Assassin's Creed Shadows is available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Mac, as well as GeForce Now and Amazon Luna. Now, it's possible Guillermo might be referring to other platforms such as PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, or maybe even mobile, but the most likely possibility is that he meant Nintendo Switch 2, especially when combined with Dujay's comments. Of course, some investor thought the same as us. Last question on the call to Dujay directly asked if Assassin's Creed Shadows was being announced for Nintendo Switch 2, but here Dujay's finally danced around it. We haven't said which other games will come on the console for that coming year. We haven't said which other games will come on. Okay, all right. Rumors to this effect have already been in motion for a few months now after Assassin's Creed Shadows for Nintendo Switch 2 got a PEGI rating. While this could have just been an error, it's just another break in the mounting tower of evidence that Shadows is headed to Nintendo system in the next 8 months or so. We really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Shadows. When we reviewed it at launch, our reviewer gave it an 8 out of 10 and said, by sharpening the edges of its existing systems, Assassin's Creed Shadows creates one of the best versions of the open world style it's been honing for the last decade. I also gave it a pretty good review. I can't remember what I got it off the top of my head, but it does have some pretty decent accessibility. And for the first time, it actually kind of feels like the Ubisoft is finally being able to make open world games more accessible. It's not fully there yet, but it's definitely it keeps taking steps forward, which is amazing. Both that combined with Star Wars Outlaws, they definitely have enough tools to be able to help make that possible for future games. So, by that being on the Switch 2, both of them being on the Switch 2, we'll see what accessibility settings are going to come over, we'll see what parity it's going to have. That's cool. But speaking also of potential games coming to Switch 2, Borderlands 4 is coming to Switch 2 sooner than expected. This is by Andy Robinson over at VGC. In a video posted on social media, CEO Randy Pitchford confirmed the Switch 2 version will arrive on October 3rd, just 3 weeks after PS5, Xbox, and PC. Previously, Gearbox has said the Switch 2 version would simply arrive before the end of the year. It's not next year. It's not even the holiday. It's so much before Christmas. It's so much before Thanksgiving, said Pitchford in Tuesday's release date reveal. Last month, Gearbox announced that it shifted Borderlands 4's release date on other platforms forward from its original September 23rd date to September 12th. The studio also announced that Borderlands 4 will cost $70 for its standard edition and revealed the $130 special Super Deluxe edition, which includes bonus items and DLC, and a $150 collector's edition, which doesn't include the game itself. Yeah, cool. I combined that story not necessarily because I'm like, okay, I'm excited for Borderlands 4, which I could be convinced. I've never really been a Borderlands guy. I tried several times. Couldn't really fully get into it, but maybe Borderlands 4 might be the thing for it. But I combine this with the other story because it seems as if that more partners are finally starting to be able to get their games onto Switch 2. From hearing about at Warframe, that Digital Extremes has said that they don't even have a Nintendo Switch dev kit, Switch 2 dev kit yet. I think Nintendo is kind of delaying their sending them out to studios to be able to make their games more playable on the Switch 2. And this is why I think that probably we'll see a partner direct sometime soon, because there was a few partner directs that were, or there was a few partner announcements in the main Nintendo Switch 2 direct that was announced. And I think I can remember if Borderlands 4 was part of. Oh, and I think crap. Now I'm forgetting who it was, but that's only a small piece of the puzzle. If Nintendo's not going to release anything major for the rest of this year, other than maybe announcing release dates for, say, Metroid Prime 4, or even like now we know that also Pokemon's coming in October. We already kind of have a good idea of what Nintendo's lineup for the rest of this year will be. So anything else that'll come that is still unannounced, I think is probably due to either an Indie Worlds or a partner direct. And with the rumors that there might be a Nintendo Switch 2 or there might be a Nintendo Direct sometime like now that Donkey Kong has been released, that it could be relatively soon, could be still this week or it could be next week. That's my guess, that it probably won't be a proper Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, because they usually save that for big announcements, whereas I think this will probably be either a partner or the Indie World sort of direct, so that we can be able to see more games coming to the Switch 2 from other publishers. So hopefully that'll be the case. That's my guess anyway. And of course, I would love to be able to see a proper Nintendo Direct again, so that we can be able to know even more games that are going to be coming. Like, what do we know about Zelda? What do we know about Mario? What's coming for those? So it's stuff like that I would love to be able to see, but I don't think we're ready for that yet. That seems more of like a September Nintendo Switch Direct kind of type announcement. So yeah, it's cool. Great. We're gonna get more games for Switch 2. I'm excited for definitely Outlaws. I've been enjoying my time in Cyberpunk as being one of the first, actually the first sort of a third party that actually is doing super well on Switch 2 launch with Cyberpunk 2077. I love playing it on that thing. It's great. It's yeah, I've been playing it with basically handheld mode, and it works relatively well. Yeah, it's not necessarily super comfortable, but especially for a first-person shooter, because you're having to try to. There's no grip, so it's hard to kind of like hold on to it while you're in FPS mode. But it does okay. It does pretty well, and I'm at least well enough for me to be able to be comfortable with it and playing with it. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's great. It's awesome. And I'll be able to see more games like it on like or have proper Switch 2 versions. So. Anyway, that's going to be it for me for today. I'm going to leave that there, but thank you so much for watching and or listening. If you have any comments about any of the stories that we talked about today, please leave them in the comment section down below. Yeah, we'll see what the Battlefield 6 announcement might be tomorrow. If not, well, then I'll talk about it on Friday. Just as a heads up. Oh, actually, yeah, Friday. Yeah, Friday should be no problem because I'm technically going to the cottage this weekend, and I'm leaving Friday, but that's not until a little bit later in the morning, so I can still do the show as I normally do. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.